Hello everyone, this is Phil from Yoda's Workshop. Bienvenue à un nouvel épisode de Vintage Kids, Épisode 71. Alors, bonsoir et bienvenue à un tout nouvel épisode de Vintage Kids. Hein? Ben oui, l'émission la plus populaire à l'est de Papineau. Hein? Ben oui. It's the show that is the most popular at the east of Henri Bourassa in Montreal. Alors, bonsoir et bienvenue à cette tout nouvel épisode. Et cette semaine, nous allons faire quelque chose de particulier. Hein? Des fois, j'ai pas de sujet, là. Puis je me dis, ben écoute, il y a peut-être quelque chose à raconter, là. Parce que moi, j'ai du vécu. Hein? Ça paraît un peu dans ma face, là. Mais j'en ai un peu. Et je trouvais que l'idée peut-être de vous parler un peu là, de l'historique de Yoda's Workshop, de où est-ce que ça vient, de qu'est-ce que c'est ça, pourquoi, ben, c'était peut-être pas une mauvaise idée. Des fois, j'en ai des bonnes idées, des fois, j'en ai des moins bonnes. Celle-là, ça va-tu être une des bonnes? Peut-être pas. Mais c'est comme ça, la vie. Alors, je vais vous envoyer un petit... ben oui, un petit message là, sur les comments, là, tu sais. Donc, c'est ça, in the English, but of course. Alors, good evening and welcome to a brand new episode of the Vintage Kids. This week, I decided to do something different. Since I've been talking with you for 71 episodes, and if you're watching this, it's because you probably are on the group Yoda's Workshop. But I thought it was a good idea to give you a brief history of it. Because Yoda's Workshop didn't fall from the sky. There's actually a story behind this. It's not an incredible story. Just to let you know, nobody dies in that history. No explosions. No love affair. Well, maybe one. So if you're expecting a story with dynamites and sharks and unicorns, you're at the right place. No, you're not the right place. Donc, c'est ça. L'histoire que je vais vous raconter, dans le fond, c'est un peu une brève histoire là, de ce que c'est Yoda's Workshop. C'est pas pour faire de la publicité parce que je considère que vous êtes déjà sur le groupe. It's not to make publicity because you're already on the group. You're stuck with me. You can leave or you can stay. But Yoda's Workshop was originally, good evening. Mr. Ian Bennett is in the house. Good to have you aboard, sir. Yoda's Workshop was not at the beginning a Facebook group. Not at all. And so this is what I want to talk about. To give you a brief history, because that goes back to 1998. So we're going to cover about 25 years in the next few minutes. It's in this almost an hour or so. Perhaps it's going to be so boring that in 30 minutes I'm going to say, so you guys have any jokes? But I think it could be interesting for the viewers to know where all this began. So yeah, I hope you guys are going to enjoy this. I hope you'll learn stuff. You're going to learn stuff from me. You're going to learn stuff from my personal life. And I hope it's not that boring. I can see viewers leaving, so I don't want to know about this guy. I already know too much. But that's okay. That's okay. The amazing thing about this is that it's going to be online afterwards. So if I got struck by lightning next week, probably not over here in Canada because it's fucking cold. Well, this will be available for after I'm gone. So I think it's a story that is worth telling. Donc, c'est ça qui est intéressant avec la magie des internets. Hein? Ben oui. C'est que maintenant, là, tu fais quelque chose, tu le laisses là, puis ça reste pour la progéniture de la prospérité. Loin, longtemps après. Pour le monde qui pourra dire, c'était qui ce crotté-là? C'est quoi ça, Yoda's Workshop? Il vendait-tu de la drogue, lui? C'était-tu un pouilleux? Pourquoi le dude, il l'aimait autant? Tu sais, là, plein de questions comme ça. So, okay, enough of the stupid jokes. Let's dive into it. Uh, I still have a cough. I'm still coughing, so I'm sorry if I a lot during tonight's episode. I'll do my best to barf in the bucket right here. Um, okay, so where did all this started? I've been a collector for all my life. I've been collecting toys. I've been collecting, and that way before 1998, where actually this story begins. Donc, j'ai toujours collectionné des affaires. As a kid, I collected des macarons. How do you say it? The pins. Yeah, those pins that you, back in the days, I collected cards. I collected toys, stickers. So I used to collect a lot of stuff. Uh, I realized very quickly that I was a geek, a nerd, or call it the way you want it, but I was that kind of kid. And I've never felt bad about it. So, in 1998, I remembered that I was still living at my parents' house. Yes, yes, I was. And I remembered that I still have a few of my original Star Wars toys in the attic. And I remembered that I saw someone that on the internet that was looking to trying to purchase a Death Star playset. Donc, en 1998, on était sur Internet. Puis je ne sais pas comment c'est arrivé, mais j'ai vu qu'il y a quelqu'un qui cherchait un playset Death Star et j'avais encore le mien. And I'd still have mine, and it was still in its original box. So I contacted this person. They said, "Hey man, I've got one. How much do you want to pay for it?" I had no clue back in the days how much this thing was worth. So I don't remember. He probably said like, "Send me pictures." He said, "Send me pictures. I want to see what it looks like, and I'll get back to you." So back in the days, I wasn't able to take pictures with a digital camera. I would have to use a real camera, go then pay to have the pictures, and I put the pictures in an envelope and I shipped it to the guy. Man, that was the way to sail back in 1998. Yeah. Donc, dans ce temps-là, pas de caméra numérique. On était obligé de prendre des belles photos, aller faire développer ça chez Jean Crotteux et payer pour. Et ensuite de ça, j'ai dompé ça dans une enveloppe. J'ai shippé ça au gars. Je sais pas, il était où. Je m'en rappelle plus. Ça fait longtemps, c'est en 98. Là. Je me rappelle pas que j'ai mangé un matin pour déjeuner. So, the guy actually received the pictures probably a few days later, and I don't get any news from him. So I write him an email. That was the beginning of emails. Emails still smell like new cars back in the days. Jim is in the house. Welcome aboard, my friend. I just finished talking about you, so you're good. You're good. We're good, man. I'm kidding. Okay. So I contact the guy, send him an email. That was amazing. Emails. Wow, what a great technology. And I said, "So, man, are you interested to purchase my Death Star playset?" And he actually says, and I'll always remember this, he actually wrote me something that sounded like, "I'm good. I've just purchased one on eBay." So keep in mind, that's 1998. Donc, le gars, il m'écrit, il me dit, il y a quelqu'un qui me dit bonjour. Monsieur Pierre! Peter, my friend! Alors, bonsoir, hein? Ben oui, c'est notre voisin. Non, mais tu sais, là, on a tout ça de monde à soir, c'est donc ben de fun, là. Hey, tu viens juste de le manquer, là. Les madames tout nues viennent de s'en aller. Ben, tu vois que tu écoutais la reprise. Bon, OK. Non, c'est pas vrai. C'était hier, ça. Puis c'était pas filmé. Donc, le gars me réécrit, il dit, "Je suis correct, j'en ai plus besoin, j'en ai acheté un sur eBay." Là, moi, eBay, elle sait pas c'est quoi en 1998. So, eBay, me in 1998 had no idea what was eBay. So, eBay, I asked him what the hell is eBay, and he said it's a website where people actually sells their stuff, all kinds of stuff, and there's some Star Wars stuff there. Keep in mind that eBay opened in 1995. And in 1995, they were not selling auctions. It was a spoon collectibles website. There were people trading spoons, those collectible spoons that you can purchase with the picture of the Queen on the top or the picture of Kirk Keck on the top. That's my favorite one. Um, so they would actually trade spoon on eBay. And I'm not even sure if it was called eBay at the beginning, but it opened in 1995, 1996. So in 1998, it was pretty new. It was pretty recent that this website was not only selling or trading spoon. So it was the beginning of eBay, literally. So I'm heading to eBay. I go check that out, and I said, "Oh, great Scott! There's money to be made there, man." So I said, "Okay, I'm gonna try this." And I try and I start looking at what is up for sale, and the prices are fucking crazy. And I see stuff that I just say to myself, "Man, they're selling their stuff way too high." I mean, keep in mind that was, and it's still, a U.S. website, so it was all in U.S. money. For us Canadian, it's fucking gold, man. Sorry about the F word. It's incredibly good gold, man. Donc, prenez en considération qu'en 1998, le website de eBay vient d'ouvrir, puis c'est en US. Moi, je vais voir ça, je fais comme, ah, les prix, le monde sont malades, ils payent super cher. Anyway, I'm not going to tell the whole story of this shit, but this is how it started. So I started to sell on eBay, and it went crazy. Why? Because I was one of the first from Quebec. J'étais un des premiers Québécois qui a commencé à vendre sur eBay. La mode, la folie n'était pas commencée. But the thing that helped me a lot is that I was the only one selling Céline Dion's old LPs. Kumbaya. Welcome aboard, Steve. Donc, t'as quasiment gagné, man, la semaine passée. T'as-tu vu, là? T'as été dans les finalistes des derniers qui a presque remporté un prix, là. Donc, je commence à vendre sur eBay, puis ça marche. Parce que je suis un des seuls qui vend des affaires de Céline Dion en français, les vieux vinyles, old LPs from Céline Dion in French. I'm selling Montreal Canadian stuff. I'm selling junior hockey from Quebec stuff, French stuff. And looks like I'm the only one selling this on eBay, so people go nuts for those stuff. So I sold a lot of stuff. I ended up working, quitting my job, one of my jobs, to put all my, not all, but my fondue au fromage. Ah ben oui, pourquoi pas. On se paye-tu une petite fondue au fromage? C'est une bonne idée. Non, t'as pas gagné une fondue au fromage. On mange de la fondue. So this thing just exploded, and enough that I ended up being really one of the first power sellers back in the day. I don't even know if this still exists on eBay. So I started to give interviews for magazines, businesses, business magazines and stuff, because people were looking for eBay sellers over in Montreal or in Quebec, and my name, I was basically one of the only one that was doing well in this new business kind of stuff. So I gave interviews for magazines. I even ended up, bonne histoire, Phil, lâche pas. Ouais, pis c'est, hey, je te dis, là, le poisson était gros de même. Gros comme ça. And believe it or not, this is all true. So yeah, I ended up giving interviews for magazines and eventually even on television. So I've worked on this for a long time, for about 8 years full time. And Now here comes the Yoda's Workshop story. This is why Yoda's Workshop exists. Uh, when eBay started to be big, like really big, quand eBay est devenu vraiment gros, euh, ils ont commencé. Avant, c'était comme juste des euh, individuals. C'était juste des personnes que tu pouvais t'installer sur eBay. Tu mettais ton nom, tu mettais ta carte de crédit. Ben, dans ce temps-là, je ne sais même pas s'il y avait de carte de crédit parce que PayPal n'existait même pas. C'était du monde. Basically, you and me, normal people, not big company. But eventually, eBay decided, and back in the days, it was free to put stuff on eBay at the beginning. After it was 5 cents and then 10 cents per items. Anyway, so what happened is that actually eBay decided to give stores, big companies, to start selling on eBay. So that was really rough for people like me that were selling Star Wars toys, that were selling Celine Dion stuff. When it was collectibles, it was still sell very well. But when it was basically Star Wars stuff that you could actually purchase at Walmart's or whatever, what the big stores would do, they would actually put all their stuff that they weren't able to sell and put it at very low price on eBay, and it would sell. It would sell. Donc, les gros magasins à la Walmart se ramassaient avec de l'inventaire qu'ils n'étaient pas capables de vendre dans le magasin. Ils mettaient sur eBay à des prix ridicules, puis ça se vendait. Fait que ça a causé beaucoup de tort à du monde qui était comme moi, des petits vendeurs là, qui étaient en bobette chez eux là, dans leur salon, là, ou dans leur chambre à coucher, là, puis qui vendaient des bonhommes. So it was rough for people that were just like me, just wearing boxers and selling stuff without taking a bath for 3 months. Maybe 2. No, I'm kidding. But am I? Okay. So what happened is that they invited everyone on eBay to open their stores, their eBay stores. So, just to give you an idea, when I opened my eBay store, every week I would have 1,600 items for sale. So that was my everyday eBay life. I was replying to at least 100 emails per day about all the stuff that I was selling. Donc à tous les jours, quand j'ai ouvert mon magasin eBay, j'avais 1600 items à vendre par semaine. Okay? Je répondais à 100 emails par jour. I would do this all night long, and it was great because I wouldn't be distracted by anything. Everyone would be asleep, and I would be working all night long on my eBay stuff. I remember heading to the post office with big, huge garbage bags full of packages that I would ship every week, every 3 days or every week. It was crazy, and it was great. It was fun. So back to what I was saying. I opened the store, and we had to give a name to your store. And since I was selling basically most of my stuff was Star Wars stuff, I decided to call my store, eBay store, Yoda's Workshop. And it's actually based on that picture. I remember that I fell in love with that picture. That's a real thing that Lucas actually created. I think at the beginning it was like on a staff Christmas card or something, but I fell in love with this thing. And just to give you an idea, this is my mouse pad, okay? And this mouse pad was purchased in 2003. And I think I've purchased it on StarWars.com. You're not able to see it, but anyway, I got this thing for at least, I've been using this for 20 years. So I fell in love with that picture. So I based my Yoda's Workshop idea on that picture. Instead of Santa's workshop, it's Yoda's workshop. So this is where Yoda's workshop come from. Uh, so that's it. See you next week. No, I'm kidding. There's more. Yeah. Donc, c'est ça. Je me suis basé sur cette image-là qui a été utilisée par Lucas. Je pense que ça a été mis la première fois sur une carte d'employé pour le temps des fêtes qui a été donné. Puis c'est une même qu'on a vu cette image-là la première fois. Moi, j'ai trippé sur cette image-là. Je fais comme, wow, c'est Chris de beau design, il est cool, c'est vraiment hot. Et évidemment, en anglais, on dit Santa's Workshop. En français, je ne sais même pas comment ça se traduit. Mais en anglais, je dis Chris, Yoda's Workshop, voilà. Puis ça va être lui, mon bonhomme. Fait que c'était mon logo de magasin eBay. It was my official picture. Not what you see there. This is something I did more recently. Not this old thing. But that guy right there, it was my picture for my eBay store. So I took care of my eBay store for a while until 2007. And the reason why I decided to stop is not only because my daughter was born, it was because we were, the US dollar was gaining back value. What happened is that in 2001, 9/11, after there was the war, and during the war, what happened is that the was there a difference? Yeah, the money, the value of the U.S. dollar versus Canadian dollar was not as good. It was not the same, but it was very high, and I was not making as much money on every dollar that I was selling on eBay that I was prior to all this war shit. So, and of course, like I said, when the stores open their account on eBay and start selling the same stuff that I was selling, but for a fraction of the price, I was spending way too much time for not enough money. So I decided to take a step back and, of course, take care of my daughter because she was the priority. Donc, histoire en français. En 2001, il y a eu le 11 septembre, il y a eu la guerre, puis tout ça après, le dollar canadien, dollar US, c'était quasiment rendu la même valeur, et c'était rendu que je faisais moins d'argent sur chaque dollar vendu en US, c'était moins rentable. Et le fait que Walmart et n'importe qui, des gros magasins, étaient rendus sur eBay, vendaient les mêmes choses que moi, mais à une fraction du prix. C'était ridicule. Je faisais plus de profit sur ce que je vendais. Fait que je passais beaucoup trop d'heures à passer là-dessus pour le peu d'argent que je faisais. Of course, I would have never become millionaire doing this. It was just for fun. It was never like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, you know. So anyway, stop in 2007. I literally, I think since there was not enough sale per month, I was not able to keep my store. To be able to have a store, there were like things that you had to commit to, like that much sale per month, whatever. So since I stopped, I've stopped. They closed down Yoda's workshop on eBay, and it was okay. I didn't mind because I was somewhere else. Priority was with my daughter that was just born. Donc, c'est correct parce qu'ils ont fermé pour avoir un magasin. Il fallait que tu aies tant de milliers de dollars par mois de vente. Il fallait que tu aies tant d'items sur ton magasin. Tu avais comme des choses à rendre pour que ça fonctionne, pour que tu puisses avoir un magasin, évidemment, puis être un power seller, puis toute la babelle. Et bon, ben, c'est arrivé que je m'en occupais plus. J'étais rendu à m'occuper de ma fille, qui était la priorité. Donc, ça l'a comme... J'ai perdu mon magasin. Yoda's Workshop shut down. And there was a lot of other stuff. eBay was getting so big that they changed a lot of their rules. Some of the stuff I was selling, I was not allowed to sell anymore. Everything that was like handmade, everything that was, there was not a kind of a barcode on it. If it was something that I don't know, you would make a picture or painting of a Star Wars character, you weren't able to sell it anymore because they were saying, no, you don't have the rights of I don't know what. You're not able to sell it anymore. So I get Jesus, man. So it was getting more and more complicated, and I was spending way too much time um, on eBay for not much. So it was fun until you realize that you spend hours and hours per week for not a lot of stuff. It's not fun anymore. Anyway, so that's in 2007. Now we have to fire ourselves, slingshots ourselves in 2014. 7 years later. 7 years later, I'm a big hockey fan, as you guys know. I used to play hockey 2 or 3 times a week. I was really slim and sexy and fast and strong. Yeah, and skinny. Are you hot yet? Are you turned on yet? And one day at the end of one game, I had an accident. My yeah, right. You love me anyway, man. I know you do. My fucking tendon d'Achille, so Achilles fucking thing on your foot, it snapped. It literally snapped, and it was crazy. You're still sexy, I know, and I'm still wearing my clothes. So mon tendon d'Achille, it snapped. So I ended up, of course, babe. I I ended up not working for a very long time because I had my operation. They tied that thing back up, but there were complications, and I wasn't able to walk for a long time, so I was not working. So I was back home, waiting for this fucking leg to get better, and I'm the kind of guy that is not really good standing there doing nothing. I can sit down and watch TV. I can no, I don't. I don't even watch TV. I watch movies that I love. I watch documentaries. I love series that I want to see. But I'm not the kind of guy that will just sit down and do nothing. I have to do something. So it was fucking terrible for me to be in bed with my leg without being able to walk or do much. So what I did, I remember I said to Audrey, I was with Audrey back in those days. Yeah, we've been together for 11 years. Um, woo. Um, and I said, I think I'm gonna go check what's left from my eBay days, because when I closed the store, I remember that I went to the flea market, and at least 2 times that I sold a lot of my overstuck with. I was stuck with thousands of figures and stuff that I wanted to get rid of because I would move. So I went to the flea market. I sold a lot of my stuff. Then I did some garage sales, and I sold a lot of my stuff. But I would still have some of these toys back that I would collect back in the days. Mais me souviens de ton stock à Laval. Shit, man. Ouais, hein? Yeah. See, my friend Steve says he remembers back when I was living in Laval, my house was fucking full, man. My basement was full of toys and figures that was selling. It was crazy. 1,600 items per week. Crazy stuff. And I used to live in a very, very small house. Anyway, c'est moi le retard. C'est moi le retard. Hey, c'est Monsieur Gendron, mesdames et messieurs. Alors, bonsoir, hein? Ben oui. T'as tout manqué les bouts, tout ça four, hein? T'es arrivé en retard, qu'est-ce que je te dis? C'est pas grave. Je t'enverrai des photos, là. On a fait des screenshots, là. Puis, j'ai dit screenshot, hein? Enfin, it's a family show. OK. Donc, qu'est-ce que je dis? Ah oui, je dis à ma blonde, I say to my girlfriend, I'm going to go check my boxes that I still have with the back of the stuff from eBay. And I take those boxes out and I found a lot of vintage Star Wars figures. A shitload. I remember that I had a one full box, like one of these boxes full of Star Wars stuff, vintage stuff. So I remember I lay them down on the the table in the kitchen. I said, Jesus, I still have a lot of shit, man. That's I have to go check what they are worth. I don't know. And since I had a lot of time on my hand and not on my feet, um, this is when I literally found out that there were tons of Facebook groups and people that were only fixating, I don't know if that's the right word, qui étaient seulement comme des collectionneurs de vieux stocks de Star Wars, des collectionneurs de G.I. Joe, des collectionneurs. There were groups for every geek stuff. And I said, oh, wow. And this is how I found the IC, the Imperial Commissary, which is one of the greatest sites that my friend, and I'm really, really proud and really lucky to say that this guy is my friend. We haven't met yet, but we talk, and he's an amazing human being. Michael Evans. Mike Evans is I mean, he's a Wookiee. He's a kind of a Wookiee. You just want to hug the guy. Anyway, he did so much for the Star Wars community. I could even make a complete episode out of this guy. Maybe I would one day because there's so much to tell about him. I could even have him as a guest. I'm going to tell you next week we have a special episode. Very, very special episode. Don't miss it. We're going to have a guest, and I'm going to tell you who it is at the end of the show. Anyway, so I ended up finding out about the IC and all the other groups that I joined. And I spent a lot of times on these group during that year that I was at home, and it literally gave me the chance to meet so many good people. Salut Jim, Pierre, Driz et surtout la douce du King. Yes. Oh oui, oh oui, she's there. She's never far. The love of this guy right here. So, où est-ce que je t'ai rendu là, c'est des images d'Audrey dans ma tête, là, je suis tout mélangé. Là. Donc, c'est ça, j'ai trouvé les sites de groupes des gens qui collectionnaient, puis du monde qui sont connaissants. I've learned so much stuff spending and talking with those collectors, and to have the chance to meet people that are actually in the movies. Oui, elle est chez nous, mais pas avec moi dans mon bureau. Elle est comme à côté, tu sais. Elle est jamais loin. Elle est jamais loin. Fait que je me suis fait des amis. I made wonderful friends. And the amazing thing that I really freaked out about is the fact that some of those groups, including the IC, you could actually trust the people you were dealing with, because you're not stuck with people that are there just to sell stuff. They are there because they love this shit as much as you do. And everyone was helping one another. And I freaked out about this. I said, wow. Nowadays, on the internet, it's hard to trust someone that you don't know. But when you're on a group that you know that people are there for the same reason as you are, there you go. The magic happened. Donc, c'était incroyable de voir qu'on se ramassait à une place que tout le monde était là pour les mêmes raisons, puis personne n'essayait de se faire avoir, puis personne n'essayait de te voler ton argent ou tes bonhommes, because there was actually people making sure that everyone there was there for the right reason. Donc, je suis tombé en amour et j'ai découvert ça, ce qui a fait que j'ai agrandi ma collection personnelle de Star Wars. I managed to have so many great opportunities to purchase, to trade, to get new stuff, that are not available over here in Canada, in Québec. Donc, ça m'a donné la chance de mettre la main sur plein d'affaires, à des deals incroyables, en aidant d'autres personnes, en échangeant des affaires, en achetant du stock, en toute confiance. Donc, j'ai passé, écoute, le IC, je suis sur le IC depuis 2014 probablement. So it's almost, that's incredible. Is it really been 10 years almost that the IC is open? Because the IC was open even before I became a member. And of course, on the IC, I've met, I cannot even give you a list, but I would spend an hour just talking about my friends that are from the IC. Kirk, Rick, everyone from the MMC. It's just crazy. Chris Roshop, Matthew Sarantino. Great people. So I ended up wanted to start selling stuff again, because I had enough of my old eBay items to start selling and making money to purchase other stuff that were rarer. Like, I've learned about graded figures. I didn't know that existed back in the days. J'ai appris que maintenant il y avait des figurines gradées. Je vais me faire promener. Je viens. Ben, c'est bon ça, d'aller se promener soi-même. Hein? Ben oui, oublie pas là, d'amener un petit sac là, pour ramasser tes petites choses aussi, c'est important. Donc, je me suis ramassé à faire des bons deals, puis à augmenter ma collection, et en vendant du stock, faire rouler cet argent-là pour pouvoir augmenter ma collection, mais aussi avoir des affaires à vendre pour faire bouger tout ça. So, I think I would have to check when it was the date that I decided to open Yoda's Workshop Facebook group. So I would sell my stuff on Marketplace, on eBay, and on Kijiji over here in Quebec. I don't even know if you guys have that in the US. And it would work. So I decided to do like my other friends and open a Facebook group where people over here in Quebec would be able to go and to trust the members. Us use Craigslist. Yeah, Craigslist is another great example, but I don't use Craigslist. I don't even know. Perhaps I should. I don't. There's so many options nowadays. It's hard to be up to date on everything. I learn new apps that you can sell stuff almost every week. Anyway, and it takes so much time. Right now, I've got 1,200 items up for sale on Marketplace. I've got about 200 items on eBay still. So I still have a lot of stuff. Ça marche pas ici. Craigslist doesn't work over in Quebec, see? Us use US, yeah, US, ok, je pensais que c'est marqué us, mais c'est US. USA. Ouais, t'as raison, exactement. T'as entièrement raison, Steve, c'est vrai. So I decided to create a group that would give us over here in Quebec the possibility to go on and make sure that the people you're dealing with are people that you can trust, people that will help out, people that are enjoying the same thing as you do. The only difference that I did is that the IC is basically Star Wars stuff. Other groups are like basically only like Masters of the Universe or G.I. Joes or Ghostbusters or whatever. And I totally understand. If you only collect G.I. Joe stuff, you don't need to have access to all the other stuff if you're not interested. But for me, I thought it was important that Yoda's Workshop would get everything that people from our age or even younger or older would love to collect. So every toy lines, but of course it's 95 or 90% Star Wars because that's what I enjoy the most. Hockey cards. So all the hobby you can kind of find it on eBay, not on eBay, on Yoda's workshop. And it's a Facebook group. It's not a store. This is why I always say on when you go on Yoda's workshop, it says this is not a store. This is not somewhere you can come in and look for stuff for sale. If you want to purchase stuff, yeah, I'm going to sell stuff on Yoda's workshop, but most of my items are on Facebook Marketplace or on eBay. And that was not the point. My point was not to create somewhere where I could sell my stuff. It was to create a community that would work, that would help out one another. And I think it worked. And of course, there's a lot of my friends from the US that join Yoda's workshop. And that's great because, like I say to a lot of my customers over here, or people that I sell or I trade stuff over here in Quebec, I say, go check out Yoda's workshop. You're going to see there's friends of mine from the US. You can trust them. They're my friends. They're people that I trust. You're going to say, Phil, you're not friends with 650 people. No, not really. But most of the people that are on Yoda's workshop, either they're my friends from the US that I know and I trust, or there are customers that I've sold stuff or I traded stuff with over here in Quebec. So I have a kind of a connection, a personal connection to those people. And of course, I always try to make sure, and it didn't happen even once yet, that if I see something that goes wrong, that I find out that someone is on this group to try to make tons of money or trying to scam people, they're out. It's a private group. So it's not like everyone from anywhere could show up and say, hey, yeah, look, I'm going to sell you this. It's kind of a drug, and it's no. What you see is what you get. And that's what I wanted to create. And of course, in all of this, and I don't like to talk about my health issues all the time because I'm surrounded by this crap every day. But I ended up not working for the last 4 years due to something in my fucking brain. But I'm still alive, so yeah. So I ended up having tons of time to put on collecting, talking with friends, making new friends, making great deals, create amazing friendship, and spend time to take care of Yoda's workshop when I feel good enough. And of course, I created this, the Vintage Kids. This was not, like I always say, I said it on episode 1, the Vintage Kids is not something where I'm going to sell stuff. This is an happy hour for the collectors, for the Yoda's Workshop members, for the Star Wars lovers, for the Marvel's TV series listeners, viewers. I need this thing personally. It's my happy hour too. Sometimes I have very long weeks that I don't feel good. So when I end up at this hour of the week, I know I'm going to have fun because I'll be with my friends. I'll be with you guys. And it's important. This is the same thing as the MMC, the mystery mail call. We know that once a week we're going to be with our friends and we're going to have fun. We're going to fool around and say stupid stuff. But it's going to be great. It's a great moment in the week. Back in the days, it was not something that we could have actually imagined. Now, with the internet, people can be all around the world, and we end up spending an hour every week together, and we can interact. You can be in Hawaii, you can be in the US, you can be in Alaska, in Montreal, in France. Everyone's there at the same time. That's amazing. That's amazing. And you don't have to leave your living room. You only have to bring your phone. You can be on the toilet and you're going to enjoy this too. So that's why the Facebook group is called Yoda's Workshop. It's because of my eBay store back in the days that closed down, and that's okay. Like I said, it was not because it was not working. Euh, ben oui, je t'ai regardé à Cuba. Cool, man! Ah, on y est rendu international. Non, mais c'est vrai, c'est cool. Uh, there's people from all around the U.S. That are watching this, that are part of Yoda's workshop. Our admin, I'm the admin of the group, but the other admin is Kirk Keck. Kirk is in Wisconsin. He's my friend. I can call him my friend more than I think I can call my own brother my friend. Um, so anyway, it's incredible. So that's I probably missed a lot of stuff, but that gives you an idea. And what it gave me also the opportunity to do is I did some Comic Cons again prior to the pandemic. Um, I've met some Star Wars actors. I became kind of friends with Daniel Logan, that I can just send him a message and he replies to me right away. How cool is that? I mean, with Michael Evans that now do the ICCC, he literally created something so great that is now known around all America. He's friends with Palpatine. He's friends with Ian McDermott. He's friends with all those Star Wars actors, and we actually have the logo of the IC in the Lucas archives. That's incredible, man. So it's amazing. I know that people say, yeah, the internet is not. No, they're still good in there. It's like Vader. It's like in the internet is kind of Darth Vader. There's a lot of bad stuff, but they're still good in it. There's still Anakin in there, you know? And I think the internet, that's what it is. They're still good in it. When you look for it, you can find some amazing stuff. And I think that those groups, those Facebook groups, that you know that you will. Let me put it another way. When you were in school and you were a kid, you would collect or you would freak on whatever Star Wars, and people would laugh at you, you know. He's a fucking idiot. Donc, quand tu étais à l'école, tu te faisais rire de toi parce que tu collectionnais des G.I. Joe, des Barbie, peu importe quoi, tu étais le style loser, là. Mais aujourd'hui, les losers ont pris le contrôle sur le monde. Losers actually took control of the world. No. Yeah, kind of. But now you know that all those little kids, girl or boys, because back then that was the only two gender that was available. Ooh, bad Phil, bad Phil. You know that those kids that were in school in Wisconsin, they were in school in North Carolina, in Florida, en Colombie-Britannique, in Ontario, in Toronto, in Montreal, in Gaspé, in Quebec City. We all managed to get together in those groups and we all talk the same language. On s'est tous ramassés à la même place, puis on parle tout le même langage, puis on connaît tous nos inserts. We all understand the one-liners, you know. You know. That's magical, man. That's wonderful. So back in the days, in your own town, you would live in a small town in the U.S., and there were like 4 kids that would collect Star Wars stuff, and they would go crazy on whatever, Barbies or Hot Wheels or whatever. But they would live like 7 streets apart, so they would never meet. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of the whole thing. So that's why I wanted to give you a brief history of Yoda's workshop. And the reason why it's there. And the reason why I don't want to stop doing this, because for me, it's amazing. The group is fun. I love to send you guys. I try to do my best to send you some jokes and stuff that I found on other groups that I found very funny or very interesting, or wow, I'm learning stuff. I'm gonna give it to the community so they know. You can see someone wearing a Star Wars shirt anywhere and instantly have a connection. Yeah. And the best example is when they start to do cons, when they start to do Comic Cons, when they go on the ICCC. We manage to find ourselves, even if we come from millions miles apart, you know. And like I was saying, though, the IC is great, but again, it's in the US. I wanted to do something not similar to the IC. I didn't want to copy Michael's idea. I just thought this is a great idea. And of course, the IC is not the only one. I'm talking about the IC, but there's so much more other groups. Bespin Prime, the R2D2 and Friends. There's tons of great groups that you can trust people there. So, and I'm skipping a lot of information because, I mean, I only have 5 minutes left. I just forgot what I was about to say. Anyway, perhaps he's going to come back. So that's it. That's the reason why I wanted to do that. Oh, yeah, I wanted to do it one in Quebec, where somewhere over here, people could trust the website, not the website, but the Facebook group, that everyone that would deal with one another. If I put something up for sale on Yoda's workshop, I know that the person that will contact me, I can trust because he's kind of a Phil's friend or Phil connection. That's what I wanted to give the opportunity to everyone in Quebec. Of course, there's other groups like this, Star Wars Quebec, Geek Quebec, and it's okay. There's tons more of members, but I wanted to do my shit. I wanted to do my own Facebook group to give you guys this opportunity. And like I said, I'm not doing this for the numbers. I don't care about the numbers. We could be 20,000. We can be 600. I don't care, as long as this shit works and people are enjoying it. Man, I'm happy. I'm going to sleep every night and I'm happy. I finish every episode of the Vintage Kids and I say, man, that was cool. That was another great episode, or that was another great subject, or that was fun. Even sometimes that I don't know what to talk about. I don't know. Let's do something different. Anyway. Okay. So, big announcement for next week. Before the announcement, I've talked about this last week. I really think I'm going to do another Black Friday sale on Yoda's workshop. Let me know if it's something that you are interested in having. It would be a live sale. Just like this. It would be a live sale. Moi, tant et aussi longtemps que toi, t'es heureux. C'est ça l'important. Ouais, ben... André, t'as raison. Je le fais pour ça. I need it. J'ai besoin de ça dans ma vie. Là, ça va pas terriblement mal dans ma vie. Là. C'est correct. Là, je suis heureux. Je suis avec ma blonde. Ma fille est en santé. Mes problèmes de santé, par exemple, font que je suis limité à plein d'affaires. Mais ça vient me donner un boost. Puis ça m'accroche. Puis j'ai du fun. Puis c'est comme, que c'est bon. C'est comme une baisse de plus la semaine. Là, tu sais. Pas autant, là, mais presque. My friend André just said, as long as you're happy, man, that's what's important. Well, yeah, good thing. I mean, when I'm going to do this and do it, I don't feel like doing this shit again, I'll stop. That's it. That's okay. Like I said, I'm not doing this to beat anyone. I'm doing this for fun. Traduis pas ça. Non. La baisse, ça, je ne vais pas la traduire, c'est un secret. Il va falloir que ça soit écrit avec les sous-titres. Je pense que maintenant, il y a les sous-titres sur YouTube qui traduit automatiquement. Si tu l'écoutes aux États-Unis, quand je parle en français, ça l'écrit en anglais en dessous, man. C'est rendu à ce point-là, là, l'intelligence artificielle. T'as pas parlé du second orgasme? Non, pas encore, mais on va en parler dans un épisode juste pour toi. Oh, oh, ah, oh, oh, ah. Oh, family show, family show, family show. Donc, c'est ça. Let me know, guys, if you might be interested in spending an evening with me on a special Black Friday sale. It would not be a Vintage Kids episode. No, no, no. It would be a live sale, Black Friday sale on Yoda's workshop during a few hours this week or next week. And I would sell you guys stuff at very good prices, the best prices I can make without losing any money. So when I do this, usually I'm selling my stuff at the prices that I paid them for. So what happens? What happened in the family stays in the family. Yeah, what happened in Vegas stays in Vegas, man. Qu'est-ce qui arrive à Blainville, ça reste à Blainville. Hein? Ben oui, c'est là. Okay. I'll probably post a little something about the Black Friday sale to make sure that people are actually interested in. I don't want to do this and spend an entire 2 days getting ready for this and no one shows up. It's a lot of work. I did it in the past, and it's a lot of work to prepare a live sale. And I mean, I've got friends like Michael Evans that do this 2 or 3 times a week, man. I don't know how that's crazy. T'es pas loin, ouais. En effet. Si je touche, je pense que tu peux m'entendre. Okay, now about the big announcement for next week. I don't know if he's listening, but next week we're going to have a guest. And this guest is it's probably one of the most magnificent human being I was lucky to meet in the last 10 years. And his name is Kirk Keck. So you guys from the MMC that knows Kirk, next week we'll spend an hour right here on the Vintage Kids with my friend Kirk Keck. We are going to talk about our passion, his passion. I'm gonna ask him questions about what's the deal with that basement? What's the deal with Radical Rick? You know what I mean. We're going to talk about Star Wars. We're going to talk about our passion. We're going to talk about our childhood. We're going to talk about life. And trust me, if you guys don't know Kirk Keck, like I said prior, he's actually the other admin of Yoda's workshop. He's in my top 5 human being, my favorite human being in the whole world. I haven't met the guy in person yet. Can you believe this? I was supposed to go to the ICCC 4 years ago. I've been missing the last 4 ICCC due to my fucking condition. But I've said it in the past. The day I'm gonna meet this man, I'm gonna hug him and I'm gonna cry like a little girl. Because he's a wonderful person. He does so much. I mean, I don't know anyone else that gives so much. Sérieux, niveau marketing, fais ton Black Friday quand tu veux dans l'année, genre fin février où il se passe fuck all. Ouais, mais je pourrais en faire 2, man. Tu ris, mais c'est ça. Je veux voir si ça fonctionne. Puis je vais en faire d'autres parce que I'm going to say in English, my friend just said you should do it in February when everyone's doing nothing, the Black Friday sale. And pretty soon I'll have more information about my future. Am I going back to work? Is there a chance for me to work again due to my condition? I'm going to know it in the next several weeks, maybe months. There's a lot of things that might change in my life. So I might have to rethink a lot of stuff. And this is, I'm not going to say it's a safety net, but it's been my plan, knowing that perhaps I'll never be able to work at where I used to work in the past for the last 30 years. That even now I know that they've told me that there's not really a chances that I work anywhere else due to this condition. That I have to do my own stuff, and Yoda's workshop is my own stuff, and I'll probably do more live sales eventually if I have to. But I want to do them. But I want to do more live sales because it's fun. It's fun. And but again, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So back to Kirk. So Kirk is going to be our guest next week. We're gonna talk about his life, talk about his passions, talk about the MMC. I want to talk about the MMC. I want to talk about the history of the MMC, of the You Didn't Win That page. And if we're able to get more people from Yoda's workshop to join the MMC, good. If you can, c'est cool, man. C'est gentil, Mr. John Drawn. Mais non, ça devrait être correct, là. C'est comme, ça fait 4 ans là, que j'attends. I've been waiting for what is happening right now for the last 4 years. It's been a very long journey and very, 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 very long journey. When you don't know what you have during the pandemic and they're telling you that there's something in your brain, but they don't know what it is, it's fucking scary, man. Non, moi je réponds au monde, je te répondrai pas après, si. On est là, on est live, là, on se parle. C'est correct, ça fait partie du plaisir. It's the amazing thing is that I always try to do English and French. It's not always easy. Sometimes I think it's easier for me to do it in English, but I love the fact that people from the US are watching this and they're learning fucking French at the same time. They're learning different words and they're probably trying to understand what the heck is he talking about. What did he just say? And that's fun. That's fun because I put myself in their shoes and it's like if I would be watching a podcast that would be in French and in Spanish. I don't talk Spanish, but I would try to understand. It's part of the fun. So, guys, that's it for this week. It was kind of a special episode. This is the brief history of Yoda's workshop, the group. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna check for to see if I'll do a Black Friday sale. I really want to do it because I've got tons of shit for you guys. And again, I'm not only gonna sell Star Wars stuff. That's the cool thing. I've got Masters of the Universe. I've got G.I. Joes. I've got puzzles. I've got books. I've got figures. I've got statues. I've already give you an idea, but as you guys can see, those boxes are full. They're full all the way to the top. I've got tons of shit right there. And that's just part of it. I've got even more stuff. So I'm pretty sure I'll be able to offer you guys something that you might be interested in. And it's Christmas, so if you have friends, if your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your friend, your brother, your sister are collecting, I'm going to give you the chance to purchase some stuff, perhaps that will be the best prices you can get. All right, man. I really appreciate it, man. I really do, man. C'est vraiment cool. Friendship are important. Puis, man, je sais pas en quelle année t'as commencé à l'attendre. I don't know. We've known each other. We started in 1996. 1997. Tu veux, je peux parler en anglais aussi. Ben oui. Tu sais, mais là, en espagnol. Ben. No, ça marcherait pas. My friend Kirk always says that when I talk in French, he always thought I was talking in German. Ça sonne presque pareil, tu sais. All right, so thank you for joining me tonight. Watch out next week. Next week is going to be a very special episode for me to have my friend joining the vintage kids, and I think we're gonna laugh. I think we're gonna cry. I think you're gonna learn a lot from this guy. So next week, on a gradué en 92. Ouais, c'est ça, enlève 5 ans. Fait que c'est pas mal 86, 87, 88, whatever. Je m'en souviens plus, tu sais. Je me rappelle pas que j'ai mangé hier. Moins 5. So as I always say, have an amazing week. Take care of yourself. Tell your kids, tell your lover, tell your dog, tell your parents, if they're still with you, that you love them. How important they are for you. And again, as I always say, be safe, be good, be wild, be you. Have an amazing week. See you next week. Don't miss it. I'm gonna since I know already that this is going to happen, you're gonna see it a lot. We lube you. Yeah, we lube. We lube you too, man. So you're gonna see Kirk's face a lot this week on Yoda's workshop. So that's it. Have an amazing week. If you have any questions, suggestions, or anything, send me a personal message. I'll be happy to reply with the best answers that I can give you. Bye-bye.